Everyone, and welcome to another episode of What Does This Button Do? It's episode 100. Wow, is that cool or what?
OMG.
It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with Geeks on Tour. Pretty cool.
Yep, and we are getting older and still learning new tricks.
Yes, we do. Hi, I'm Jim, and here with my wife, Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think that the best way to learn is on a regular basis. Lifelong learning. So we've come up with this weekly show. We pick a different topic each week, and it gets recorded, and all of our content is collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
Wow. Where are we now, Chris?
Home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, also known as
Venice of America.
Venice of America. Now, unfortunately, this picture was not taken out of our house window, but it was taken out of a friend's. Dee, if you're watching, we're going to visit often.
All right. So this is episode 100. Wow, that's about 75 hours of teaching. Remember episode 1?
I do. And we were in the RV in Denver, Colorado, parked in a parking lot at an Elks Lodge. And didn't the electricity go out?
Yeah, we had
before the show.
Right before the show, and we had to crank up the generator just to get everything going. But it just happened, and we've been doing these things. We've been talking about them. So, but all of these shows and more, but all of these shows are in the archives at geeksontour.com/weekly show. And you can find that on our website, obviously.
Early on, I wrote an article called A Live Weekly Show. Are we crazy? And yes, I think we are. I think we do this because we need some stress in our life.
Yeah,
everybody needs some stress.
Yeah. We had some stressors out there. So things that can go wrong. Gosh, there's always an issue with sound, especially if you have multiple devices in here. I could easily make echo happen. It's not so easy to make echo stop happening. Power outages,
especially in the RV.
Oh yeah, internet outages.
Especially in the RV.
Well, as we're and
although the only one where the internet actually crapped out completely was here.
Yeah,
when we had this fire.
I think we were just overdoing it or something, and who knows? It could be a Google Hangout problem. There are those, and the thing keeps changing.
Remember the one where to start this show, he has to click on a button that says Start Broadcast. One time, it got to be 2 o'clock. He goes to click that button,
and it wasn't there.
There was no Start Broadcast button.
I was like, oh no, what do I do? Or no sound. I can easily turn off the sound. But we don't know if it's off.
Because we can hear ourselves.
Oh gosh, and things are changing all the time. Google Hangouts on air, all that stuff is changing. So it's up to me to try and keep up with it.
And all those issues are not even counting what we're trying to demonstrate.
What we're trying to teach here.
So many times when you're demonstrating something on technology, you say, next you're going to click this button and this is going to happen.
Nothing happens.
Nah.
Oh, well.
So you have to be ready for anything. I find that it's a challenge, and I like having a challenge. So,
and it is a challenge.
You would think after 75 hours worth of teaching about these little devices that we would be reaching the end.
No, we're only starting to scratch the
Only
surface.
Just beginning. So
we'll be here for a while.
We will be here for a while.
So we have a beginning tip, a starting tip, and you want to get into that now?
Okay. It's Force Quit, an app.
Well, I think we're going to have three separate
Three
pieces
parts
here, 3 parts to our show. So we'll have a starting tip, our beginner's lesson. This week it'll be on OneDrive. And then we'll have an ending tip or an app of the week, something like that. And this week it is the Wink app, home automation. So if you have questions live during the show, use the YouTube chat window. I see a couple of people in there already, and I'll be looking down here to make sure that I try and keep up with it. And questions, hopefully they have something to do with the show we're doing. But it doesn't matter. Okay, by Wednesday, Wednesday afternoon, we're going to do the edits and the things that need to be done to the recording. So we can be a little looser here because Chris is going to clean it all up for you so that we have a What Does This Button Do show ready for Wednesday afternoon, and it'll be posted at thebuttonshow.com, and you can also leave your comments there.
But you can always watch live. You know, we love having our live audience.
Right. We do invite you to become a member. If you're not a member, you go to geeksontour.com and just click on the link to become a member. Show notes, Chris, last episode.
Oh, yeah. I really do want to show this. You can always get the show notes if you're a member on our website at the weekly show. But the easiest place now, I think, is the Button Show. And I want to show you something about last week's.
Okay.
So you just open a browser and go to thebuttonshow.com. Last week's show is up on top. If you are a member, you can click show notes there. If you're not a member, you can buy the show notes for 99 cents. And last week, we had a couple of questions towards the end of the show that we didn't really get to fully answer. So this is one thing I want to point out. In our show notes, we have the opportunity to look something up and give a more full answer. So for example, here last week, somebody asked about teaching the basics of bits, bytes, and kilobytes and file organization and cloud and devices. And I looked it up and said that we did some of what she was asking for in episode 86. So there is a link to that episode. And somebody else, Chuck, I think it was, asked how to prevent pocket dialing. And we covered an app in one of our shows called Call Confirm, and that was episode 17. So that's another reason to get the show notes. There's actually some additional stuff in them besides what we just covered in the show live. Okay.
All right, good. Quick tip.
Now, force quit. So what is force quit? If you've had a phone for any length of time at all, you've probably gotten to a point where something wasn't working right. And if you looked it up, you might have been told to force quit the app. So I just want to show you what that means. I'm going to start with the iPhone.
All right.
And let's say that you were using your iPhone to listen to a podcast and it's playing along and you want it to stop. You've gone on to other things and this podcast is still yabbering away in the background and you open it up and you can't see how to stop it. Well, you can always, why can't I get that straight? There we go. You can always force quit. And what that means is to open up, you're not seeing the whole phone there, right?
Go.
Yeah. Is to open up what's called the multitasking. And you do that with the home button. Yeah. Still can't see it, huh? Okay. The home button, the round button at the bottom, double press it. And that shows you all of the apps that have been recently opened. And you can then find the one that you want to quit. And you might have to look a little bit. There it is. No, it's not. That's not the actual podcast. There it is. The podcast. And you swipe it off. There we go. So that's what force quit means. So now if you went back to the podcast app, you would be able to start it over again. Yeah, now when you open it up, it starts it fresh, and hopefully what wasn't working will work now. That is called force quit. All right, now on the Android, let's say that I was playing solitaire. And something goes wrong like that. All right. So I'm playing solitaire, and maybe I have to answer a call, and I try going back to solitaire, and now nothing works. I try tapping on it, and nothing works. You can force quit it. On the Android, the multitasking is this this overlapping two squares, or it might be just one square. I think yours has just one square, but there is some button somewhere that represents recently used apps. You tap it, and on the Android, you can just tap the X. You can also swipe. It does the same thing. When you tap the X, it force quits. And then if you go back to solitaire, it's a fresh start. And whatever was wrong, it's like rebooting, but it's just rebooting the one app rather than rebooting the whole phone. This still came back to the same game, but as I say, hopefully it now works, and you can get a new game and things are clean. So that's what force stopping an app means.
Okay. Good point. Good tip. We do invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/2geeksontour. Questions. Let's see. I'm looking over here to see if we have anything in the chat. And can I ask why I don't get an email like I did when you were on Google Hangouts? That's a good question, Bill. We don't send out emails for these because of the way that we had to start the event. Used to be we did everything from Hangouts, and we started at Hangouts on Air. Now we have to start at YouTube, and we don't have all of the tools available to send out those emails. So we're trying to figure it out. The emails will go out on Wednesday once the finished show is ready with all the show notes and we have everything together. Then you'll get an email of the final show. But if you want to watch these live recordings, then you want to be on subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you should get notifications.
You should get YouTube notification. Yeah, if you both subscribe and click the little birdie or something like that,
you have to ask
for get notifications.
So, okay. Would a group chat computer system set to the side of your camera allow you to monitor the feeds we are seeing in different corners of the world? Yeah, maybe, but it's a lot of stuff going on for us to keep track of. So, yeah, it was nice when we had the comment tracker and we could put stuff up and it just worked. That's gone away too. So we're dealing with that. Okay, Chris, Michael Dorsey says, I think it's official. You've gone over to the dark side, leading with Apple instead of Android.
I do kind of like this new iPhone.
Yeah, I know you do.
But
that's okay.
It's still the Android that I go back to when I really want to get something done.
All right, you ready to be a beginner's lesson?
I think so.
OneDrive, Microsoft's cloud storage service. So first of all, you have some terminology, right?
Yep. So what is the cloud? The cloud is just the internet. It's not a particular brand. The brands are the accounts. iCloud is Apple's cloud storage service. Google Drive and Google Photos are Google's cloud storage service. Samsung has a cloud storage service. Verizon has a cloud storage service. Dropbox is one that we really like because it's not affiliated with any of the big names. And OneDrive is the one we're going to talk about today. They all are good, but OneDrive is built into Windows 10. So we think it's kind of behooves you to know about it if you're using Windows 10. And it has some good features regardless. More terminology, upload and download. The way I use it, upload means taking something from your device that's sitting in front of you, either a phone, tablet, or computer, and sending it up to the cloud. Download means it was already in the cloud and you want it on your device. Then there's synchronize. If things are synchronizing, that means it's making sure that all devices have the same version of the file. So there's no, it doesn't go just up or just down, it goes round and round. So what is OneDrive? You get there by onedrive.com. It is Microsoft's cloud storage service, meaning you need a Microsoft account. Usually, or if you have a hotmail.com email address or an outlook.com email address, you absolutely already have a Microsoft account. You may have one set up with a different email. That's fine. But Hotmail or Outlook are definitely Microsoft accounts. It competes with, I mean, it's almost the same thing as Apple's iCloud or Google's Drive or Dropbox. And we, unfortunately, use them all. We don't recommend that,
No.
although there might be reasons to use one or the other.
Well, it's always nice maybe to have an extra one.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that.
What's that? Belt and suspenders?
Belt and suspenders.
Yeah. And now OneDrive, what we think a lot of people don't know is that OneDrive is an app on both Android and Apple iOS as well, and Mac. So it works on everything. You get 5 gigabytes of free storage. You can buy more, $1.99 for 50. But if you own Office 365, which I think most people with Windows computers either do or I think should, it's what,
$69 a year for the personal version, and that's good for 3 devices, or there's the $99 Office version for 5 devices.
And that comes with 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage space.
Mm-hmm. And that's
You're
a lot.
never going to need any more than that.
Never say never.
Okay. So what can you do with OneDrive? First of all, you can store stuff there. So if you are going on vacation and you don't want to take your computer with you, no problem. You still have access to all of your files, either by going to an internet cafe computer and getting to your OneDrive or on your phone or tablet. You can also, and this is also something I think a lot of people don't know, you can create and edit Office files. You have Word, Excel, OneNote, and PowerPoint for free, either online versions or apps for your Apple or your Android device. And photos. OneDrive will automatically upload all your photos from your phone.
And that comes in handy.
What do we normally teach about that?
Google Photos.
Google Photos.
Right.
Google Photos is my #1 way of having every picture I take with the phone uploaded to the cloud. But belt and suspenders, I do use OneDrive as my secondary backup of all my, if something should happen to my Google account, it's possible.
Unlikely, but it could.
I have another copy in OneDrive.
Now, if you're using your cellular data, to do this, you're going to be using an awful lot of data. If you're doing it on Wi-Fi that's not connected to a cellular plan, you'll probably be just fine.
And there is a setting to tell it only use Wi-Fi. One thing that OneDrive does that Google does not, Google Photos does not, is synchronize with your computer's hard drive. So if you want the pictures from your phone to go up to a cloud storage and come down to your hard drive and stay there, OneDrive can do that for you. And I'll show you that. All right, so I use OneDrive basically for three things. First, to have my main computer files with me anywhere, although I also use Dropbox and Google Drive for that purpose. One of these days, I'll figure out where my files are. They're either on my computer or on Dropbox or on Google Drive or on OneDrive or on all of the above. Yeah. I use OneDrive as a secondary backup of my smartphone photos. Google Photos is my first choice. And thirdly, I use OneDrive because it allows me to work on files with Excel, Word, and PowerPoint from any device. So I'm going to demo. First, I'm going to do a little demo on the computer. So I'm going to start on the computer. I'm going to show you about photo upload. Then I'm going to use Word on the iPhone, and I'm going to use Excel on the Android. And now both iPhone and Android can use all of the Office apps. So I'm just going to pick one to use to show you, but it would work on the other one just fine.
I'm ready.
Okay. First, I want to take a picture, and so they'll see that that picture is on the OneDrive when I show OneDrive on the computer. So smile. Yes. Okay. And that's all I have to do there. And that was with either the Android or the iPhone. And then, yes, what am I going to start with? Computer. I just said that, didn't I? So how I am going to create a file on the computer using Excel. This is a Windows 10 computer, and I can just go to Excel and I am going to make a standard. I'm just going to pick one of their templates so that I don't have to type much. Personal expenses calculator. So let's say that we are going on vacation and I have determined that I am going to keep track of our expenses while we're on vacation.
I believe you.
All right. So here is what it looks like. There is the actual list of expenses. Because I use the template, there's a bunch of sample data already in there. So that makes it nice and easy. How do I make this available to OneDrive? All you have to do is save it in the OneDrive folder. And notice on Windows 10, that is the default. But I don't want to just dump it into the OneDrive with all my hundreds of other files. I want it in a particular folder. I made a folder earlier called 100 episode, what does this button do? So this is my sample folder. And I am just going to call this vacation expenses. All right, so this is vacation expenses. It's being stored in the OneDrive folder on my computer, my personal one, and in a folder called 100 episode. And save. Okay, now I'm going to close it. And I'm going to go to the web. And OneDrive.com. You need to make sure that you are logged in, and I am. I'm logged in with my Microsoft account. And notice that there is the folder called 100 episode. And if I open it up, there is the vacation expenses that I just made on the computer. So this file exists in two places now. It is on my hard drive and it's in the cloud on the OneDrive site. Now, photos. Make sure that, yeah. There is the photo that I just took using my Android phone.
What a good-looking guy.
Isn't he, though? So it automatically uploads all my photos, and you can have them synchronized down to your hard drive. Now, my hard drive isn't very big, so I tell it not to do that. I don't need them on my computer's hard drive as well. So that's it for the computer. You create a file using whatever you want. As long as you save it in the OneDrive folder, it will that's a magic folder. Just like Dropbox and Google Drive, you can set them up the same way, but OneDrive is another one. All right, now I want to go to the iPhone. And let me see if I can do it that way, which is, yeah, I think I can. And on the iPhone, just notice there is the OneDrive app. I also have installed the Word app and the Excel app. They are free apps. And I'm going to, I think, just go straight to Word. No, I'm going to open up OneDrive. Open up OneDrive and Files. We see all the same folders that we saw online or on my hard drive. This is all of my working folders, hundreds of files. But what I want to show you on the iPhone is that I can create a new file. So we're on vacation now, and I left my computer at home, and I want to write a document. I want to use Word and write a document. You just tap the plus. Notice I have the choice for a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, or a PowerPoint presentation. I chose Word, and since I already have the app installed, and notice it's already giving the file a name. Maybe there's options so that it doesn't do that. You can rename it later, but it automatically saves. So here we are on vacation in, I don't know, England or something. And I always am thinking about other places I want to go while I'm on vacation. So I'm just going to write a little document here, places to go. I want to go to Italy, and I want to go to Germany. And oops, I didn't mean that. Germany, and I want to go to Norway. So that's my list. Now, I think I would like to share this document with Jim and get his list. You know, how about you, Jim? To share a document, you tap this little person with the plus in the upper right-hand corner. Invite people. And yes, you can you can look at my contacts. There we go. And I send that to him. So Jim will get an invitation in his email to work on a document with me. So we share, we are collaborating. All right. And the only other thing I want you to do here is just show you how I can see the photos. Here we go, right down here. Photos. And here are the photos. And it's refreshing. So it's taken a bit. I uploaded a lot of photos this morning. But I can see all my photos. Now, I much prefer working with Google Photos at this place, but it's nice to know that I have the option. So that is Microsoft OneDrive and using Word or Excel. There's those vacation expenses. On an iPhone for free. For free.
Yeah, that's something that we just take for granted now. But it's amazing that all of this stuff is available for free.
Show OneDrive on my Android phone. So there is the app, the OneDrive app. And this time I want to show that expenses file, the expenses that I created on the computer, saved to OneDrive. Now I would need to go in and add something to it. So vacation expenses. And it is opening up Excel, which I just installed on this phone. And now pretty much anything I can do with Excel on a computer, I can do on here. If you can work with this itsy bitsy screen. So let's say I want to add an expense to the bottom. I believe I have to get into edit mode. Nope. All right. So I just start. Oh, it already has what I typed in when the sound was off. But let's say I want to fix that number. Boy, it really is difficult on. All right, this little Excel button is coming up here saying, oh, do you want to edit this in Excel rather than just be viewing it? Yes, that's what I want to do. So I do caution people that even though this stuff is available, do not give up on your computer if you have to do things like Excel and Word, because it is not easy on these tiny little screens to get in the right spot and do what you need to do. But you can go in and edit. And this is Excel on the Android, and it is free. So I am done making my little edit there, and I'm just gonna back out. Save changes, yes. Now remember, on the iPhone, I created a document, and then Jim edited that document. Oh, it's still wanting to know, where do I want to save this vacation expenses? There we go. All right. Now I want to go back out to my files. And my recent Excel files, no, I want just recent files, recent all files. It's obvious that I don't really use this very much. I just like knowing that it's there. I'm going to go back out to home and see if just opening OneDrive, yeah, gets me there. So you know what I'm going to try that force quit.
Where'd you learn to do that?
All right, now I'm opening up OneDrive from the beginning. This I recognize. And under Files, I want to see Recent. And there is that document
that has a weird name.
That has the automatic name. And I created this on the iPhone. I shared it with Jim, and I can see Jim added some things to it that now I can see. Why? Because this actually lives in the cloud, and we're both looking at the same document synchronized.
So she started that on one device, looked at it on another device, shared it to me on my computer. I changed and modified it, and she can see it. I didn't even need to save it, though. And now she can see it there on hers, on a different device altogether.
And that's what cloud computing is all about. And I'm done with the demo.
Okay.
Are you done demoing how this stuff works?
Yes, indeed. We do invite you to like us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/Geeks on Tour. App of the week. My app of the week this week is an app called Wink. The Wink app keeps you connected to your home, and we're going to be doing some home automation shows as we get through this coming up year. So no matter where you are, if you have the app and you have the devices in your home that make it work, you can control from wherever you are as long as you have an internet connection. It's free. It's a free app. It's available on the App Store and on the Google Play. Now, there are two pieces to it. Wink is hardware and software. So there's the app that you get on your smartphone or tablet, and then there's a device called the Connected Home Hub that you can put in your home. It connects to your Wi-Fi in the house, and it allows you to control more devices. You don't need to have the hub for the app to work. You just have to have some compatible devices like lights or switches. Those are the primary things that we use this home automation for. So the app of the week is, you want to show it there?
Yeah. Your phone.
My phone. I thought you had it on your phone. All right. So I have the app on my phone. Go ahead. We can show it down there. It's on the very bottom row.
Can I do it this way? Yeah.
So it's the bottom one. It looks like a little house down at the bottom.
Wink.
Wink. Okay. And it's coming right up to lights. And the lights that are on, go ahead and touch the set lights.
Okay, so what's set mean?
Set is the lights that are shining on us right now.
All right, so if I just tap that, our lights are going to go out,
Our lights around us will go out, right?
Yep. Tap it again.
Okay.
And how far away can you be and do that?
You can be anywhere in the world if you have an internet connection to do it. So go ahead and hit it again. I don't know if it was. Okay. All right. So that's off. The camera does do a good job of trying to find us again, but then the lights come back on and it's there. So
now he's added one other piece in our house, and that is Alexa.
Right. The Echo or the Alexa app and the Alexa cloud-based system, you can talk to the house and it will recognize what you're saying, and it interfaces with the Wink hub. And so I can say, Alexa, turn off set. Alexa,
no hands.
Turn on set. Please. Something else to go wrong. Go ahead and hit set lights. And you can also, a lot of these lights are dimmable, so you can set a mood. You can group them together, so you can turn off all the lights upstairs or downstairs at the same time. It's just an amazing thing. So that's my app of the week. It is Wink, and we'll be talking about home automation a lot as we go forward. Well, that was fun. Did you learn something? Chris, how much free storage do you get with OneDrive?
You get 5 gigabytes free with your account, and you can buy more. But if you have Office 365, you get a terabyte included with your 1 year of Office 365.
Cool. What account do you need to work with OneDrive?
A Microsoft account.
Right. And if you have a recent purchase a computer and Windows 10 is on it, it's going to want you to have a Microsoft account. And if you're just thinking of getting one and you don't have a Microsoft account now, it's free. You can just set one up. That's a good idea. So what app do you need in order to edit a spreadsheet on your phone?
Excel, the Excel app. There's free Excel, Word, and PowerPoint for both Android and iPhone.
If you create a document on your computer, how do you see it on your iPhone?
The trick is just to save it into the OneDrive folder on your computer, because the OneDrive folder automatically synchronizes to the cloud. Then your iPhone with a OneDrive app will see it.
And what setting will upload your phone's photos to OneDrive?
That's called camera upload. You just turn on the camera upload and it will automatically upload every photo from your phone to the cloud.
Cool.
And synchronize to your computer if you want it to.
Well, Chris, what's the web page that lists all our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the web page is Weekly Show.
And the web page that has all our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com. The menu item is blogs and articles. Newsletters is under there.
Okay, and the benefits you get by joining Geeks on Tour.
The complete learning library, prepared tutorial videos, all the show notes, ebooks.
What else?
Is that enough?
No, there's more. There's discounts. And if you are a member, you get a preview of the Google Photos book. And
which should be up at Amazon
real soon now.
Real soon now.
Yeah.
Definitely by December, hopefully next week.
We did a lot of work on the pictures this past week, or
using OneDrive.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we collaborated on the book, is using OneDrive.
That's cool. Well, we do invite you to become a member at geeksontour.com. Just go to our website and click on the link up there that says Become a Member. Our next show, we're going to have a show. Next week's topic is how to set up a smartphone for someone who's never used one. This has come up a couple of times recently for us. You're going to get somebody a phone and you want to be able to set it up for them. How do you do that? So we'll go through that. And then the following week, we have a special guest, our friend Roger Hurricane Wilson from his music studio. He's in Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
if you want to hear more of his music, the evening before November 26th, he's doing an online concert. What's so cool is how into the web he is. So, I mean, he's a geek.
Yeah.
But he's also an excellent blues musician. And if you want to attend that concert, the details I have posted on our Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/geeksontour, you'll be able to see how you can watch his show, and then he'll be on our show the next day.
Okay. Well, watch for the notification for our next show, and we'll see it on Wednesday, I hope. Let us know that you're watching. If you're watching live, I'm glad to see some of you guys made it over from the other event. Leave questions in the comments. We love questions, and hopefully we'll get some answers for you sometime during the week. That's it for us this week.
Keep pressing those buttons. Stay curious.
I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And what does this button do?
How about this one?
Don't touch that button.
You're the one that touches the button.
No, not that one. Did you break it again? Bye-bye.